There, UK comic reviewer here. This is a Beryl the Peril book from 1988. This actually was another one in very good condition. It's actually all about Beryl the Peril. This one, unclipped, as you can see, and no name on it. Beryl used wood from an editor's office there, and basically these are all sort of like loads of little stories about Beryl the Peril. Obviously, no other characters crossed over in this one. Because this was Beryl the Peril's annual, and and also all the shenanigans, including a really nice, really brilliant cowboy one there, where she reenacts the cowboy film, and making a steam train out of a wedding train that from years ago, taking part in the talent contest in that one, and her dad running late for a train and missing the train ultimately, and trying to play tricks on her mum and dad when she was unwell. Got another, and obviously using her mum's dress in that one as a boat, and obviously Beryl got into quite a lot of trouble with her dad. She was a lot like Dennis and Menace and the Minx in that way. But she used to want to play football and rugby and things like that, like with the dads, and not be like a girl, not behave like a girl, because she was rather quite a lot of a tomboy. And this is a Stonehenge history thing she did. So basically these were all sort of like little stories about Beryl the Peril, this one. So, I mean, no other characters actually crossed over or were part of the story, which was which was different from the other Beryl the Peril annual from 1981 that or 77 rather. No, it was 1981 because me and the Minx was in it. So it was different in that respect. And she basically wanted to go to London, but her mum and dad went instead, and she got babysat by her teacher, one of her old teachers, which she didn't like. A load of perilous proverbs, like sayings there. And, unfortunately, she did end up in rather a lot of trouble in her annual book. There she tries to get into wrestling, which her dad was part of. And, she was often made to do gardening and chores, which again she didn't like, unless it resulted in her getting pocket money. This one was an interesting one. Flying saucer, some aliens invaded. Saw what Beryl was doing, and obviously she wanted to she wanted to be friends with these aliens, but unfortunately the aliens didn't like it at all and basically raced off, which her dad didn't believe. And there she basically had a Wendy house that she loved because she could use it as an armoured vehicle against those two lads. So basically that's a good one. Using a plane with her dad's braces. So and that one was an interesting one actually. So being like a tomboy, I mean that was covered in a Beano annual that I did review that I did recently. Because her dad wanted her to be more like girls, but the Beano one did Ivy the Terrible and Minnie the Minx and Toots out of West Street Kids. So that was a similar story to that. But it was a slightly different ending. Her dad wanted her to be, whereas everyone else was pleading with their dads, Minnie's, Ivy's, and Toots' dad, to go back to them being tomboys. She didn't want to go to school that day. That basically explained why she didn't like school. Perilous events, sort of like her take on history. Her dad basically sending her down the street in a bin. And then her dad doing a speech in this at this dinner thing that he went to and ended up being shamed. And then in this one, she decides to take the role of her dad. And then her and her dad end up on an assault course. She ends up ice skating on that guy's pond. And In that one, she gets expelled from the school because she never liked it anyway. And there, she makes a snow chair for herself. In that one, she ends up stuck to some really hard loaves, which unfortunately did apparently weigh quite a bit, but I know a bit difficult to believe. And there she takes that little doll thing and makes it out to be herself. Well, how she got the hair right on it, I don't know. On the doll, how she got her hair on a doll, I find that a bit strange. But anyway, the painless slipper, because she did get slippered rather a lot. And over this page, a little load of rubbish in their garden, and this big giant from a pantomime she went to, goes and rescues her, and she tries to buy a Christmas presents for her family, and her day, and the way her day at school and her day at home after that. And that's the end of the book. Anyway, that book actually was in very good condition. Like you see, it was unclipped and hadn't been written in, and it is actually in good condition for the age of it. So yeah, that's anyway, this was the UK Comic Reviewer, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, and bye bye.